So fantastic to have you on the show. I'm so pumped. I've actually had a really good listen to the upcoming album. Little bit of early listen there, so thanks heaps. And wow, what a masterpiece! And 24th of April, it's coming. It's really happening. So the first question I wanted to ask was basically, what was the motivation behind Hokka and the law?
I think everything comes down to 1 year ago, April 25, when me and my longtime band Blind Channel splitted ways, and then I was free to express myself with a new band and new everything. So then I went to my long-term friend Pauli to his place, and we started to have these therapy sessions, which turned out to be songwriting sessions. And all suddenly we got a tons of songs, and then we got signed to Nuclear Blast, and that led to making an album in studio with producers. I mean, we produced it by ourselves, of course, but we had some help on production and mixing and everything. But things just escalated super fast, and now we're here with the ready album, and we're looking at the festival summer, and everything is just happening so quickly, and it's crazy. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
So I'm going to kick off with my first question to you. What are your influences and inspirations when it comes to your writing and production style, as in like, guitar?
Right now, one of the key inspirations are, I have to say, Robbie Williams, because
Oh wow.
he showed that you can, even though you leave behind a band that is super massive,
Yeah,
you can still launch a big solo career. And I mean, in the early days, Robbie had basically a band with Guy Chambers. They were together creating everything. And then I would have to say Tobias Forge, because I saw Ghost playing live in Nokia Arena in Finland May
Yeah.
25 year ago, and that was some life-changing, eyes-opening experience for me to see a theatrical show, all the costumes and everything. So I have to say, and also they have the lore, they have the whole Ghost universe that people are just
yep.
doing the costumes and the makeups, and
Yeah.
people are into the lore. So that was big inspiration for me. And on the same time, I have to say all the early 2000s stuff, like from Finnish rock bands, from Him, the Rasmus, Nightwish, to
Yeah.
all the pop culture like movies, Kill Bill, Star Wars, Spider-Man, Batman trilogy. So the scale where I take inspiration is pretty wide actually. But this whole Hoka version, what we call ourselves, it's
Hockerverse, I love that.
yeah, it's like my own, or our own vision of the fantasy world we would love to live in.
That's awesome.
That's fantastic. And that was actually going to lead me to the next question, which was basically about the law, and tell us more about the sensei and the warrior.
Yeah, that's no made up story, it's true story. So
Oh,
one
wow.
year ago, when I split away with my ex band, I was basically in the rock bottom. I had nothing. I had no job, I had no band, no brothers,
Oh man.
no future, anything. I was an orphan, just wandering around Helsinki, trying different producers, going different places, and trying to find my place again in this cruel world. Then I found my way to Pauli's mansion in the side of Helsinki. And because Pauli is a legendary guitarist of the Finnish massive rock band Erasmus, and also a songwriter, he was
Yes.
like, and he has experienced exactly the same that I've been going through. So splitting ways with your brothers and leaving behind that era
Mm,
of your life. So he was like, okay, dude, come over, let's talk, let's have these sessions. And then things escalated, like I said before, and he became this, I would say like Alfred Batman, or you can name it however you want it, but he basically he told me that you need to evolve and you need to grow a lot, but you can achieve this level what you dream about, like being the next big thing from Finland, or being this Cape Crusader with your own songs and everything. So it
Yeah.
was this guiding light for me, and also like a big brother and sensei.
Because
That's awesome.
I did even hear that you actually had a katana for the mic stand.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's true.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's intense. That's really cool.
It might be hard to, when we have to fly over to some festivals or tours outside Finland, go into the airport security with that katana. It might be a
Oh
problematic,
yeah.
but we have a plan for that, and I'm thinking about making a replica out of plastic for that. But let's see how it goes. And yeah, it's a real katana, and it
that's
looks,
that is awesome. I
That's
love that.
that's
yeah, I
re-
love it.
that's really
That
cool.
I love that. That is awesome. I still can't get over that. I've never seen like a band get up with a real katana. That is so cool.
It's so Kill Bill. I love it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's full metal.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to get onto this next question. What inspiration and meaning is behind like your lyrics, and does it have like a theme, which I take it
The
does, that you're,
Hokkaverse, yeah.
and
Uh,
is it mostly straight off sort of like the riff?
I think if you talk about lyrics, all the lyrics are basically about my own experiences in the past. So it's been a rough time for me. I've been going through a lot of stuff. I had to face myself in this new light. I had to understand that what was going on in my life and why things happened the way they happened, and why I behaved like shit to my bandmates and crew and people around me. And I had to grow a lot, and I was just self-reflecting everything into the songs. And yeah, I guess that you have to dump everything inside of you to the songs in order to be an artist. And I guess that the whole album Via Miseria IV is just my personal spiritual masturbation towards music. I would say that.
But also, it's a bit about it also being Paulie's work too, as well, isn't it? Like,
It
yeah,
is a lot of polished work, of course, and I can't say it's it's our. That's
yeah,
true. And we've
that's so cool.
I wouldn't be here without him, his riffs and all of the visions he had. And it's just clear that we've always admitted that we sell this and we call this, and we kind of like everything comes out under my name and my face. So he's like this mastermind in the shadows, literally.
Yeah, literally, and that's a little bit of a pun intended too. So, but at the same time, with the sound, like hearing the song Via Miseria was like that callback to early 2000s Finnish rock. Such a vibe change from where you previously come from, which was a little bit more not aggressive, but it was a bit more of a new metal vibe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's definitely an atmosphere change. What's that atmosphere change been like? Going from something that's a little bit more sort of like, bounce riffs and stuff like that to something that's a little bit more, a much more melodic.
I think it comes to a few things, and first is that I've grown up. I'm not 27-year-old
Yeah.
ADHD kid anymore. Of course, I still have ADHD, and I'm still a kid, but I think that I've had to calm down a bit, and I felt that if I have to go on stage to perform songs, I don't want to jump around and be this like Duracell bunny anymore. I want to be more like a calm, grounded Cape Crusader with the story to tell. So that
Yeah.
was one of the key factors. And at the same time, I feel like I've been loving the Finnish rock heritage for since I was like 6 years old, and I heard "Join Me in Death" on TV from him. So since that, I've loved the Finnish heritage in rock music, and I've always been a huge fan of, like I said, the Rasmus Hymn, Nightwish, Children of Bodom, all of those big bands that come went over globally from here. And of course, my ex-band, we were a big deal 5 years ago in that competition, and we were like just carrying the torch. And right now, I feel like I'm just more authentic with these roots that we have. We live in this country, which is basically half a year complete darkness and just coldness. Right now, it's sunshine and everything. This is like you can see that my pale skin is glowing because this is crazy that sun is shining, and this is usually not happening in Finland or any Nordic countries. But yeah, that's the long story short.
Yeah,
Nice.
awesome. Cheers. So this is the point in the show where I usually just take a moment to ask you, is there any chance you could do a shout out for the channel? All you got to do is just say your name and your band and that you're watching the Heavy Energy podcast.
Yeah, I'm Joel from the band Hokka from Finland, and you're watching Heavy Energy Podcast.
Awesome. That was Metal As. Thank you very much. Cheers,
Thank you.
Joel.
That was a.
Awesome.
I like that
And
one.
just because we got the shout outs out of the road doesn't mean we haven't got a few more questions for you. So I'll
I've
hand
got.
this one over to Kyle. Yeah.
I've got a question for him. So, how does Jimmy's drumming impact the band's dynamic?
Yeah,
Um,
let's
I
talk
found
about Jimmy.
Jimmy. I found Jimmy from TikTok 2 years ago or 3 years ago. I'm not sure when it happened, but he had a lot of viral videos. And I saw that this dude is like 20 something years old and he looks like a complete full on rock star with everything like from the hair to the clothes and the playing style and the charisma and everything. I was like, why he is not in a band? And then I realized that whenever there's a moment I'm gonna start a new project or go solo or whatever, I need to take this guy in. And last April slash May that happened. So I was in a train ride to northern Finland. I was like typing the message to him that he was like, I think he replied in 1 hour that I've been waiting for this message or something like that. And then we got this like test play. I went to his rehearsal place. He was playing like these songs we already had done. And I immediately heard that whenever this guy is hitting the studio for this first album, he's gonna fucking kill it. Then we had the first sessions. I think the first song he recorded was Death by Cupid's Arrow. And the producer engineer we had for the album, he was like, "This is one of the best drummers I've ever heard playing." I was like, yeah, it's perfect match for the band.
Nice. That's all.
Awesome.
Hand it
Yeah.
back to you. Simon.
Yeah, well, I was just going to quickly say, yeah, because you can really hear Jimmy's impact on those tracks. And I wanted to quickly just ask about the inspiration and the selection for track number 10. I know it's not out yet, so is it okay to talk about that right
It's
now?
good, yeah. Yeah, it's completely
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Um,
So I was
so
blown away.
that was a joke first because we were having the summer party last summer and I was having this first like test drive with the cape. I had some videos where I had like wind machine and the first cape,
Yep.
and some of the guys were like, are you really gonna fucking rock that cape on stage? I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna do it. And I told that we've been researching all the Christian Bale and Nolan's Batman movies about capes. We've been
Yeah.
researching that how they did the capes, how is the movement working. They had like different shapes of the capes and different lengths and everything because they had to have like a flight cape and a walking cape and everything. So I was
Yeah.
just talking about Batman and capes for my friends, and they were like, "You should cover Kiss from a Rose from Seal because that's used in Batman movie." I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And then I went home. I tried it. I was playing a guitar and started to sing the track, and all suddenly I realized that this is actually working pretty well in this gothic atmosphere. And then I sent it to Nuclear Blast. They were like, "This is awesome. Let's do it." And then one thing led to another, and now it's in the album.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It actually blew me away last night. It was a big surprise at the end. I just like the first bit started because I didn't have a look at the track listing as I was listening. I was just experiencing the album in its entirety. And when I got to the end, I'm like, I know this melody. And it was so familiar, and then it hit me. So yeah. So just even mentioning more about the tracks on the upcoming album, what is your favorite track, or what is the track that is most like that you're most connected to or looking forward to playing live? Like, what's
For
the
some
song?
reason, I love Via Miseria. It's so
Me
bouncy, and
too.
it's gonna be
That's my favorite.
early in the set list. It's like I can feel that because I'm gonna shout that "Get the fuck up" in the intro, like Korn
Yeah.
style.
Yeah.
So I can feel that people are bouncing to that track, but at the same time, I feel like songs like "Angels Fall" because it's the atmosphere is so cool, and also "Bon Appetit." That's
Mm,
wild. I have
yeah.
some crazy shit play when we play that live.
Yeah. My
That's
favorite was Via Miseria. It was amazing that, and it was very in the guitar riffs. I was like, "Yep, that's Paulie. That's definitely Paulie." Yeah,
Yeah, that's definitely Paul. Yeah.
yeah. And then it kicked off a little bit of going back and listening to everyone else's projects as well. I started going and having a listen to some Rasmus, getting back into some old Blind Channel, just to really like see that vibe where you originally came from. But such a big change, but for the best, I believe. So one thing I want to just break the show up with right now, just really want to promo that album. So Via Miseria is coming out on Nuclear Blast Records, 24th of April. Everyone get ready for that. And that would lead me to also say, is there plans for a tour once that album? Is there a tour cycle following that album?
Yeah, there's summer festivals and the Finnish club shows first, but next year early there is a plan for the Europe, and let's say that we are planning for some Finnish invasion with my friends. I won't say any band names, but people probably can see what is happening. But yeah,
Yeah.
let's leave it there, and then about Australia, hopefully 27. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome. So in the meantime, we'll just be pumping the album and really
oh
getting
yeah.
into that vibe. I found it just personally really good driving music. Sometimes like it's not fantastic to always like be listening to Slaughter to Prevail while you're in peak hour traffic. But I noticed like when I was driving today, I was just like, oh, this is a really great driving album. Like you can sort of put it on and you can just drive to your destination and listen to the album in its entirety. So I hope other people do experience it like that too. I know that things do sort of come out in singles and stuff like that. But the album, do you believe that the format of the album still can survive?
Of course, yeah. I think
Yeah.
that this shit is gonna blow off when the album is out. Yeah, I'm completely believing that.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Exactly. Even I love myself a good album. It's something that's actually a difference between me and my partner. She likes all of the hot singles that are on the radio and whatever's playing. But if you were to say to her, listen to a Lady Gaga album in its entirety, she probably wouldn't worry about that. But me, I like to sit down and listen to a good album, and that's the theme and the vibe that I got was that this was meant to be listened to in its entirety because it's a story.
Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely.
It's a concept,
100%.
yeah.
You're right.
And I love the what you were saying about the cape too. Just coming back to that for a sec, because I'm looking forward to seeing that so much live, and the fact that you've went into some cape science and didn't just sort of like go, all right, well, any cape will do, and
Yeah.
that could be like what makes or breaks it, couldn't it? So the fact that you went and did the research on that.
Yeah, definitely. You're
I'm
right.
I'm looking forward to seeing that live, and it does. I have watched a few of the film clips, and it really does work with the wind machines and stuff like that as well, perfectly. Definitely the vibe you were going for is what we all got. So yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
I just want
awesome.
a band that has like a katana, which you seem to fit that sort of band, and then rocking the cape as well. That's going to be awesome.
Hell yeah.
So good, so metal,
I love it.
all
So
good.
so yeah. The only other thing I wanted to just hit you with, the last sort of question of the evening, Joel. Thanks heaps for your time, by the way, today or this evening for us. While it's daylight for you, it's about 9:20 p.m. at night for us. So yeah, Australia, man. So we hope to see you down here. But that was going to lead to my last question. The future of Hokka, what is planned? Is there going to be more storytelling, more albums, or are we going to see EPs, or are we going to tour the hell out of this thing? Like, what are you thinking, man? What's on your mind?
Our vision and dream is to create album trilogy, so we would love to do that first, and after that, see where it goes. So
that's
if
what I was thinking.
Nuclear Blast can release that, and yeah, let's see where it goes.
Fantastic. So not giving away too much, but I love that bit there. That was you gave me exactly what I was sort of fishing for there, which was I had a vibe that there's more to come. This is just the beginning, isn't it, Joel?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. And now, was there anything else you wanted to ask tonight, Kyle?
Nah. I've got my little thing. As soon as he said Katana and Batman cape, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, he's all in. He loves the comic book lore. Kyle does.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, just one more time, I just want to plug that album. 24th of April, everyone. Get ready for Hokka, Via Miseria, the album. It is coming soon. Me and Kyle had the pleasure of hearing some stuff early, but you'll all get to hear it soon. And there also is currently singles already available, like In the Darkness and Cupid's Arrow. So everyone go over to all the streaming services, check them out. And I'm sure this is all going to come out on physical media too, isn't it, Joel? I'd love to get this album on vinyl.
There is a vinyl. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah.
Awesome. There is a vinyl. All right, cool. I'm a bit of a vinyl collector, so is Kyle. So yeah, we might have to get ourselves a copy of that. Thanks so much for your time tonight, Joel. You have been awesome, and it's really cool to talk to something so fresh and up and coming. I know me and Kyle are going to look back on this in years from now when you are completely blown up, as big as what Ghost is doing, filling stadiums, and we're going to go, we talked to Joel when that was all just starting up, and we'd love to come back and talk to you another time when it all happens again.
Let's do it. Thank you so much, guys.
Cheers. Thank you very much, Joel.
Awesome. See you around. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.